To know about the sword of the Spirit, let us see an example from the Bible who perfectly used it and showed us how to use it. Jesus Christ. Let's see how Jesus used the sword of the Spirit when he was on earth. Usually, Satan causes three things: lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life. After Jesus fasted for 40 days, Satan came to tempt him. We'll see in three parts of temptation from Satan in Matthew chapter 4. In that, we'll see how Satan comes to us, how Jesus used the sword, and what we need to learn from it. First time, Satan said to Jesus, "If thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread." Second time, "If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give His angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou shalt dash thy foot against a stone." And third time, "All these things will I give you if you will fall down and worship me." The first one is the lust of the flesh, second is pride of life, and the third is lust of the eyes. First, Satan is questioning God's identity. He is saying, if you're really Son of God, then make these stones into bread, or else you're not the Son of God. We can relate to this of how Satan questions us in our daily life. Jesus replied, "It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word proceedeth out of the mouth of God." Jesus didn't use new words, he just spoke from what is already written. What we need to learn is Satan always tries to question our identity. Are you sure you're God's child? Do you think God forgave you? If he questions, reply him with the word of God. Don't use new words because word of God is the only sword of the Spirit. Your new words and unnecessary arguments with the enemy is in the sword of the Spirit. Always say it is written and say the word and trust in God. He'll take care. Second time, Satan is questioning God's identity again. Here he tempted Jesus. For second time he is tempting God through Jesus. Satan is using the scriptures as well. Jesus replied in the same way, saying, "It is written, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord your God." To learn is, we should never put God to test. Satan will try to make us do that. We should be very careful. This is clearly against the first commandment. Satan will show all worldly things to attract us. That's why we need to walk by faith and not by sight. Jesus said, "Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only thou shalt serve." What we need to learn is Satan wants to be worshipped by us. He will show things and he can give us if we worship him, since he is the God of this world. As a result, we might gain a lot on earth, but we lose everything in heaven. This is the sword of the Spirit. What happens when we use words apart from the word of God? When Satan asked Eve, "Hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?" Eve's reply must be, "Yes, God told not to eat the tree of knowledge of good and evil." That's what God commanded in Genesis 2:17. But you know what actually Eve replied? Chapter 3:3 says, "But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die." Midst of the garden, Eve didn't know the name of the tree. Did God really told this? No. She changed almost everything. This is why Satan was able to deceive her. How to use the sword of the Spirit. My friend just finished a training in army. She said that the first thing they do in the morning is take weapons and practice. As a soldier of Christ, we need to train with our weapons first. Then only we can put use with them. Paul said to exercise in godliness, as it is profitable for all things. So let's learn to use our weapons properly. How? By meditating the word of God regularly. Don't simply read but meditate. There is a difference between read and meditate. Hide it in your heart. David said, "I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you." It also said that out of the mouth comes abundance of your heart. This is the time to check for yourself. Is word of God coming out of your mouth to destroy the enemy, or is any other words coming out of your mouth which puts Jesus in shame who died on the cross for you? Your tongue has power of life and death. Save it. When not to use the sword of the Spirit. Let's take the example of Assyrians and Hezekiah. Assyrians blasphemed God, but Hezekiah told his generals not to answer them back. He just took what the king of Assyria said to God. God did the needful. He sent an angel and saved the kingdom. Another example is Archangel Michael and Satan. When Satan wanted the body of Moses, Archangel Michael was sent to fight. Even Michael, when he was disputing with the devil, did not himself dare to condemn him for slander, but said, "The Lord rebuke you." In such cases, let's take it to God, let him fight. Don't argue with the enemy. In the next video, I'll talk about the shield and the armor of God. Stay tuned.